Hi, and thanks for choosing to watch this SalesLogix video on using the lead import tool in the SalesLogix web client. The lead import tool allows you to import simple data into the leads area of the SalesLogix web client. This data may be a purchase list or a list you have exported from another system. Be aware that the data you can import is only what is known as one-to-one data, i.e. one person linked to one company with singular pieces of information linked to them. More complicated data imports would require further investigation. Let's pretend that we have bought a list of leads that we want to import into SalesLogix Web. The first step is to configure the spreadsheet correctly and save it as a comma-separated value file, or CSV. You will notice from the example here that I've given each column a header, and it is a good idea to check the lead screen in SalesLogix to see the sort of data you can import. I have straightforward name, address and email type fields, and note that the full name field is divided into two columns, name and surname. I've also saved my file to a handy location ready to do my import. Let's get back into SalesLogix and carry out the import. First, go to the leads area list view. Not absolutely crucial, but it does help you check results. I have 26 leads in my all leads group. Now click on the tools button and select import leads, and notice there is a number of steps we need to work through. The first thing to do is to browse to and select your lead file. And we can then specify a default owner and lead source if required. If you want, you can also define a new ad hoc group these leads will be subdivided into. In this case, import for June. Click Next to define what delimiter separates the fields. As we are importing from a CSV file, the system has recognized that it is a comma-separated file. As we had column headers in our spreadsheet, ensure the first row contains field names checkbox is ticked. Now just check the preview looks correct. And when happy, click Next to map the fields. We now have to check and specify our field mappings from the CSV file to SalesLogix. If you have carried out a previous import and saved it as a template, you can select the template at this point. The beauty of the system is that it does most of the mappings for you based on the column headers you put in your spreadsheet, and these are shown in the left-hand box with the corresponding matched SalesLogix field. First check that you are happy these mappings are correct. If you are not happy, you can highlight a line and click Unmatch. We can now match the remaining fields that SalesLogix has not been able to define, as the field names in the file don't perfectly match the SalesLogix fields here. Simply highlight the field on the left and the SalesLogix field on the right that corresponds to it, and click Match until all fields are correctly mapped. If you're going to do regular imports of data from a spreadsheet that is formatted in exactly the same way, you can save your work as an import template and then use that template for future imports. Click Next. You can now check for duplicate leads or contacts as the import is performed. We will match on first and last name and auto-merge the records. We can also specify the winner of any conflicts and run a duplicate test if required. Click Next now to select Import Actions. This section allows you to specify certain follow-on actions. So for example, if you want to schedule a phone call against your imported list, simply click Define against Schedule Phone Call and set the correct parameters. Note that the activity will be scheduled against the user doing the import. Once you are satisfied, click Next and review your selections, and note that you can go back through the screens. Once happy, click Submit. The data import will take place, and upon completion we see a history log of the import that can also be found under Tools / Import History. We can now go to the lead area and we will see that our number of leads has increased and our data has been imported successfully as shown in the ad hoc group we specified. Also, going to one of our leads, note that the import source has been populated with the file name of your original CSV file, which you can also use to slice and dice your data. You can now obviously set your marketing team on drumming up business from these leads. So there we are, a great tool for quickly importing simple data lists. Remember to consult the help files if you have any problems, and thanks for watching this SalesLogix production.